the question of equity versus token.
Yes and yes. To answer that gentleman's question, I think all types of crowd sales and crowdfunding has democratized investments for everyone, and that's a great thing, because if you look at the VCs and high net worth individuals, they don't represent a lot of the capital that's locked in savings accounts and retirement accounts, and by allowing everyone to invest in these vehicles, it's just opening up the opportunities. Having said that, these are high risk, high reward opportunities and should not be a big portion of anyone's portfolio. So invest as much at risk as you can bear, but they have democratized investment, and that's a good thing. To your question, do I believe in DAOs and yes, I do. I think anytime we can put a simple set of rules in an autonomous system, it brings transparency and fairness. So I think there are a lot of things that are being affected by the human factor right now that with the DAO we can solve those issues. Can we put everything on a decentralized autonomous organization? No. There's always going to be a place for people and that decision-making process.
Okay, so we have two other outstanding questions relating to governance, regulation, as well as with the partnerships between VCs and new kinds of ecosystem players. Yeah.
So as for the governance question, it's one of the things that I feel is the most lacking currently in this ecosystem, because once you've raised money in an ICO, there is no way that you can actually say this is the way the money should be used. There's no rules which state that they're supposed to even report back as to how they're using the money. They could buy 10 fighter jets and go fly around and blow them up with all your money, and you can't do anything about it. So we're looking forward for more GovBlocks kind of protocols to come up, where there are actually some governance layers coming up, where we know how the money is being used. We can ensure that the company is actually being built out in the way that we have been helping some of our portfolio companies build out their organizations over the last few years. Aragon project is one which is trying to attempt to do something on that as well. As far as, Tezos as well, yeah. So in terms of partnerships with the ecosystem, which, like I said, we just started looking at this a couple of months back. We're thinking any ideas that you can throw our way. We're always eager to think about that, work with new players in the ecosystem, including the likes of yourselves. So yeah, currently there isn't any in-house talent that we have hired for blockchain itself. We're looking for interesting ideas to come our way first. I keep hearing, a lot of I keep getting LinkedIn requests from Russia, from Estonia, and all these places, but maybe 2 so far from India, right? So looking for more interesting projects, not just dApps, but on the protocol layer. If anyone can build anything interesting, I'm all ears. Please reach out. We can work with the ecosystem to help you out. We can invest in it ourselves. We're still learning. We're too early into this space, and there's a long way to go.
Cool. One more question, and Trevor, you haven't spoken yet, so we'll give it to you, and then.
I just sold my broken hand to get a question.
Oh.
So my name is Abhishek. I work for a tech startup called ThroughBit. We are a Bitcoin and Ether exchange. I was itching to say this. Flipkart is the perfect model for an ICO. The perfect model. It has an ecosystem where a token can work, and the price of the token can keep going up based on the demand. My question is, are you guys looking at a fund of funds for investing in ICOs? If not, you should be. Yes, that's the question. Are you looking at it? Are you even talking about it?
Yeah, I think the other question here as well was sort of related as to what are investors doing. So I'm more of an angel investor, right? But I think if you look at people like me, as well as funds like Andreessen and USV who've been early on this trend, I think they are definitely investing in funds that invest in crypto in general, right? So I think there is a sense of diversification, like Utsav also mentioned, understanding several of these white papers is not something that you can build talent for very quickly. So so there is a completely new community that is forming, that is non-Silicon Valley, non-any valley, right? So there is, everything is literally in a little sense decentralized. So as an investor, I think you literally have to say, what do I have access to? So I bought Filecoin because it just felt very, very, I don't know, safe, right? To understand, in the sense that you knew people who understood it, and there were some brand names out there. But for everything else, I think fund of funds is probably the best idea.
But the ICOs are making it difficult for big ticket players to participate by keeping the maximum limit lower. So I don't know how it might work for a fund of funds.
You're right. I think it will evolve, though. It will
Yes,
evolve quite a bit, because, like I said, I think we still do not know where all this money is coming from, right?
Sorry guys,
250 million.
I'm getting the sense that we got a break for lunch
Sure,
soon.
sure.
So I'd like to give you guys like a last shot at a kind of closing pitch about what you're doing in the ecosystem. Particularly, I'd like you to speak personally, not in terms of your institutional affiliations. What exactly are you doing in your free time to promote the blockchain ecosystem, and why should people here seek you out?
So I think I'm an angel investor, so from that perspective, I'm just trying to learn more. And I definitely would like to invest, so seeking out early seed stage startups who are kind of the pre-ICO startups, right? So that's what I'm doing. Anybody wants to reach out, that would be great. I have a small syndicate as well that I pull in, so very excited, of course.
Great.
Personally, I mean, I'm just actually honestly just day trading. I mean, that's mostly, I mean, not day trading every day, but yeah. And Unicoin is actually the worst example for day trading, because their spreads are, I think, like 5, 7, 10% each apart, and they're 20% over international prices. There's not even a good single open order exchange. One has just come up called CoinX. I've been speaking to the team for a bit, those guys. So yeah, I mean, the trading ecosystem in India also needs to evolve. We don't need to ship money to like overseas exchanges to do that. So let's see, maybe something on that front as a personal investment would be something that I'm excited about.
Interesting.
So I do two things, or three things. I read a lot of white papers in my free time, a lot. In fact, even in my office time, I keep reading white papers. I help a bunch of companies that I've been advising over the last few years to actually think about a tokenized model. And some of the things that I'm implementing in those companies are some of these governance and ways of thinking how, or the, I'm at a loss of words, but the way we think about regular companies, the VC invested companies, the same way how we can implement those governance protocols in these companies, and making sure that they have a proper token utilization model, and not just that they're using this as an easy way of raising money, right? Abhi here is one of those companies who I've been advising, Bellboy. Very interesting IoT-based company. So I keep doing that, and thirdly, I keep day trading at times as well. It's easy money. It's very interesting, and I guess that's the only way to actually dip your feet into the water.
Fantastic. Brad, what are you going to do for India?
I was just going to say I traveled the world and evangelized Bitcoin. I would love to have more of a activity here, with both on the ICO side as well as on the funds and VC side. I'm converting my personal VC fund into fully crypto this year. It's small, and I don't have any LPs other than a good friend of mine, so it's easy for us. But yeah, I'd love to get more involved with the community and help out in the way I can.
Cool. All right, thanks to Karthik and Ish for setting this great panel up. Give it up, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abhishek, sharing your perspective with all of us. And